Well, that didn't work out so well. The weather forecasts are frustrating at best. We forget how beautiful the things are that are right around us. Well, that didn't work out so well. I was gonna go up on the fishing pier for some sunrise photos here in Ocean City, Maryland, but I didn't realize they gate off the part of the pier that goes out towards the water. So plan B is this jetty over here, and hopefully the sun will kind of line right up with it. If the sun comes up at all, I'm not sure it's gonna happen. I'm really not. The forecast called for clear skies, but it also called for clear skies yesterday afternoon after lunchtime, and we never got it. So something to do with one air mass trapping in another air mass, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I only get so much time to go out and do my photography, so I gotta make do with what I have. Today's what I have. Well, that's the shot I wanted, but as you can see, we're not getting a whole lot of light here. We have actually some pretty dense clouds, and my phone still says that right now it's just partly cloudy, but it's a lot more than partly cloudy. The weather forecasts are frustrating at best. I really should have been a weatherman, I guess. It's really hard to complain when you're at the beach, regardless of what time of year it is or what kind of weather you have. It's just a wonderful escape, and the people that live near the beach, like myself, we all take it for granted. We really do. There's so many people that just don't even have access or practical access to the beach. Photography is all about patience, guys. The minute you decide to up and leave a spot, that's when you're gonna get what you were looking for. And on the way to my next stop, which is here in Assateague. Some of you guys have probably heard of Assateague. Assateague's famous for wild or feral horses roaming around, just, you know, out in the open. Sometimes you see them. Most of the time they're a little tricky to spot. But I started seeing light. And luckily for me, Assateague is just one big long beach. That's the way it always works. Every time I give up on a site, you know, I don't think the light's gonna hit, bam, the light hits, and there's nothing I can do about it. Luckily, I was on my way and I was pretty close to Assateague Island, which was my second stop. I'm just gonna kind of, you know, walk around, drive around and explore. But I saw the light was breaking off the coast. So I rushed to the nearest beach, the nearest shore I could get to. And I mean, it's not a phenomenal, beautiful, beautiful shot, but I think it'll make for a pretty good time lapse. Except I realized I hadn't done a time lapse on the Canon EOS R yet. And so I had to fiddle through the settings to figure out how to get into that, but I got into it. It's much different than the Canon 80D, which was what I used before. But this gives you the ability to do time lapse in 4K. So I know it's gonna crop in a little bit, or I think it is. But I'm still excited to see what it comes up with. So I'm doing a snap every 2 seconds. My shutter speed is 1/100, f/4.5, and ISO 100. Intervals less than 2 seconds when you're doing the ocean just are real jumpy. So I like to try to keep that interval nice and low. I don't know if you can see them, but right out in the marsh, there's 4 horses out there just grazing. They're a really long ways from here. They're probably half mile. Let's see if I can't find any that are a little closer. There's something so peaceful about being on the shore, the beach, by yourself. You don't have all the chaos of, you know, problems everywhere, everybody else's concerns and issues. You can just turn it all off, even if it's just for a little bit. It's just very, very good for your soul to be able to reset like that. This is the first Chasing the Shot episode where I'm targeting time lapses, and I've grown to really like time lapses because pictures are a snapshot of a single moment in time. Time lapses are different. They're a transition. They're how the weather's changing in a scene. They're, you know, the evolving nature of whatever it is that you're shooting. It's how it's moving, and you know, it's just got that little bit of extra touch to it, and it's more cinematic, and it could be more dramatic if you do it the right way with the right scene. Scenes that are great for photography aren't necessarily as good for time lapses. However, a scene like this, you could grab a photograph and have a lot better chances of coming out with something nice than a time lapse, and it works the other way around too. Sometimes there's a lot of movement, and that's not going to make for a great photograph. You know, you may not be able to get it tack sharp, you know, for whatever reason. But for a time lapse, that would be great because you can show the movement and how the scene is transitioning. Sometimes it's the very simple things that jump out to you as a photographer. Like here, it's a dead tree, but it's backlit. And lighting is everything in photography, time lapse, video, whatever it is, lighting is everything. So when you can find unique objects that kind of stand out, especially with the help of the light, then you're going to get a great capture. I doubt many of you guys have the compass pulled up on your dash display in whatever vehicle you drive. Some photographers may be able to relate, and that's because whenever I'm out and about, I'm always scouting for sunrise or sunset photos. This spot that I'm at, pretty much the last thing I'm doing here, I get back in the truck and I'm checking my compass, and I'm looking for where the sun's going to set. This is a more west direction with the water. And you know, it's always a good idea to take note of those kinds of places. This is definitely a spot to take note of. We got some foreground, some nice trees, some picnic benches, some grills, all kinds of cool little features that, with a great sun in the background producing wonderful light and those clouds creating, you know, a dynamic picture, this could be a really nice sunset photo. It's crazy how far we've come as humans. You know, it's just such a crazy feeling when you see some natural wildlife, like some horses just grazing a field or in the swamp. It's natural and it's normal to all of our ancestors. That's what they live with. There was just wildlife everywhere. And we've changed the landscape of the entire world so much that most of us are just in awe when we actually see something cool like that where it is still natural. I took about an hour drive south down to the Assateague area, and I just got what I could get. The sun was just starting to break through, so finally we're gonna have some good weather. But now I'm gonna take some lunch, and I think for sunset I'm gonna head back to where I originally started, which is up in the Maryland part of Assateague Island, and I think I have some better sunset options there. So this is a beautiful scene. It's quiet. There's really no one here. It's just some birds out into the little cove there. You can hear the seagulls. It's the end of January. Temperatures are in the 40s, which is about average for our area this time of year. But for us locals in the beach area on Delmarva, the wintertime is where it's at. That's when things are quiet and you can get parking places and you're not fighting traffic as bad. It makes for some beautiful photography. And I'll take a photo here. I'm trying to take a time lapse because the clouds have some definition in them. If the clouds have definition in them, then the time lapse will highlight the movement of those clouds, therefore bringing the scene to life. Well, it's about 4 o'clock and I'm waiting for the sun to go down. I just took a nice long lunch at a local brewery, Burley Oak, and they hooked me up with this fine hat and some lovely beer. So this is just kind of wait till the sun goes down. I got about an hour and do a time lapse of the sun going down. We got nice clear skies, so should have a pretty good sunset. And that's what it's all about. That's about exploring your areas that you have access to, your local areas like this. For me, it's about an hour from home, but I never get down here. And so it's just nice to get out, to explore, and see what's out there. Because so many times I think we just get trapped in our routine cycle, and we forget how beautiful the things are that are right around us.